Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. I forget to always say it, my name's Eric, and of course Matthew works with me. Now, if you're tuning in, this is part 2 of a big 4-foot forest pine. I hope you enjoyed part 1 where we cut it in half, got it ready to go on the mill. Well, this is part 2. We're gonna take the 2 halves and try to make lumber out of them. Now, hang on, we'll be right back. We'll get into depth about it. Okay guys, welcome back. Let's talk about this big forest pine log here. Now, first thing you need to know before you can decide to cut it in half, you're gonna mill it, whatever, you need to know what you're gonna make out of it. In this case, it's very simple. Customer wants all 1x6 tongue and groove, V-groove, kiln dried, run eventually. So we're gonna cut it at 1 1/16 by 6.5. And if it won't make a 6.5, we'll make it a 4.5. So there'll be very little to no waste. Now, if we were making beams or different things, maybe our philosophy of how we cut this would be completely different. You know, if we needed a 12 by 12 out of it, but we need 1x6s, 1x6.5. So that led me into the next step. Okay, let's saw it in half. We're not gonna lose that much, you know, a couple inches right down the middle for your chain wobbling or whatever, or your miscut. Very little waste doing it that way. So that's why we did what we did, because of the end product was acceptable to be sawed in half. If we was doing something else, we'd talk about doing it differently. So in the first video, we got it cut in half, got it loaded on the mill. You can see the height of it. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall and it's almost up to my head. It's a big piece of wood. We had to take the, it had a big bale on it, and we had to take part of that bale off, knowing that when we stood it up, it would be taller than our mill could go high. So that's things you learn. We've done it the wrong way before, haven't we? Yeah, had to take it back off, do some trimming on it. But this one, the mill tops out at 32 inches above the deck, about 32.5. And I like to go all the way up, then come down about a 1/2 inch, so that when I go out the other end, I can raise the saw head up a 1/2 inch and come back.
Because if you don't do that, what you gonna do?
Because if you don't, and I have done it, you raise your mill all the way up and you cut. Well, you get to the end, you got to turn your mill off because you're going to drag the blade all the way back across your cant. And if you do that running, you're going to knock your blade off. So live and learn. Like I say, our goal here, probably going to go in, get a flat. Once I get a flat cut, I'll just start dropping down 1 1/16, take 5 or 6 inches off of it to run through the edger. We'll flip it all the way over and do the same thing on the bottom side, get it down to, you know, it's making 6-inch wide boards, and then I'll work on the crown face and the chainsaw face of it. So I'm interested to see what it yield. It was what, 11 footer. You know, it wasn't monster length, but it was a big in size. So enough talking, let's get everything turned on and let's start making some boards. boards out of it. Okay, guys, did you see how we worked that down? Started at the top. I come down till I was pretty happy with the width. I was shooting to be under around 20 inches, so I took the top down, and we rolled it all the way over. Then I took the other side all the way down to, we ended up with 20.5 inch wide. And then I flipped it over to where the bark side was up, and I cut it until we got a clean face across here. And I knew that would leave enough meat, so when we flipped it all the way over, we could cut through the center where we had chainsawed it, and we ended up with 4 or 5 20.5 inch boards on that side. All those are not waste. We'll stand them up. They should yield 3 6.5 inch boards out of each one of those that's good and square. The ones that are not, we'll take some stickers, and if we get a 6.5 out of it, we'll drop down and take a 6.5. Now, here's our can. It's 6.5. About 6 9/16 thick. It's 20.5 inches tall. I want you to look at the cut. This is why we run the 55,000 Turbo 7s. That blade is done. It needs to come off. It's sawed long enough. You can see these knots are just incredibly hard. I can feel just a little wave right there between the two knots. And that's telling me my blade is dull. It's dull, and it's time to change it. Blade tip, guys, don't run your blades too long. 300 to 500 board feet and get it off of there. Even if it's sharp, get it off there. Because the longer you run it, the more stress you're going to put on that blade, and the less number of resharps you're going to get out of that blade. Because it has a limited cycle, especially these 55,000 blades. I can sit here and run it for 1,000 board feet and it'll probably break. It's just the way it is. So we're probably gonna stop, put a new blade on it. We'll stand this can up. We're gonna cut it probably down to halfway, and then I'll flip it over, set my number back to finished on the deck, and we'll cut it all the way to the deck, and that'll be 19. It's 20 and a half, and we're cutting 1/16, so it'll yield 19 good boards out of it. That's not bad. Plus the ones over here and a couple of Matthews edged already. I'm happy with that. It's a lot of work, especially you can hear the mill groaning when it's doing a 20 and a half inch wide cut. You're asking a lot out of a 25 horse Kohler. But just slow down. I was going as fast as I could go. I wasn't going slow for the point of going slow. I was going as fast as the motor and the blade could handle. Tip of the day. Enough talking. Let's put a blade on it and get back to work. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, how we broke that log down. If it'd been just a little bit bigger, I might could have, instead of a 1 6.5, I might could have got 2 6.5 counts, but we cut what we had. We ended up with 33 perfect 6.5 by 12s. Matthew's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
Those are sixes. That's 37.
Oh, we got 37 6.5s. There's a 4.5, and then we got 4 boards out on the end that had a little wind shake in them, and the end broke off, so they'll make good 4.5s. Now we got 22 flitches. I'd have been a lot happier if these wasn't here. Matthew'd run through the edger, but they're just too big. Yeah, they're north of 20 inches, 21. So they're too big to go through the EG100, and I kind of planned from the beginning it was going to make stickers out of the waste. So some of this has got wind shake in it where the board is cracked. That may have been wind shake, or it may have been caused when we dropped it out here. But either way, we're going to work around it. I'm going to try to get as many 6.5s and 4.5s as possible. Anything that won't make that, we're going to make a 1x1 sticker out of, because we always need stickers. We don't use them by the tens or hundreds, we use them by the thousands. So we're going to stack these up. The good boards like this one, you know, we'll try to stack them up and make 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, not waste anything. Now the ones that's got bark, got defects, then we'll just get what we can out of them. So anything else, sir, Matthew? Just be careful edging on the mill, especially something this big. You can't do this by yourself, I'll be honest with you. I've done it, and it was ignorant for doing it. They're too big, they're too heavy. There's a lot of difference between a 1x8 flitch that you're edging and a 1x22, 12 foot long, 11 foot long. They're just hard to handle, and you'll wake up tomorrow saying, I shouldn't have done that. So enough talking. We're going to stack them up here, and like I say, we'll have to go through several different processes of different boards. It's not one size fits all. It just depends on what boards we get stacked up. So let's do it, Matthew. Okay guys, we are finally done with that big 4 foot diameter forest pine. Let's go over some numbers real quick. We finished up with 60 1 by 6.5 by 11 footers, and we had 18 1 by 4.5 by 11 footers. Now 1 by meaning I cut them an 1/16. I just figured it 1 by 4.5, 1 by 6.5. That was 432 board feet. Now, financially, did we do all right sawing that log? No. I could have took two 30-inch logs, sawed 600 board feet plus, and been done quicker. So that's why you have to know up front, you're gonna have to charge customer for your time. We spent 2 hours better knocking that log apart. Should charge them more, but we are making a YouTube video out of it, so that takes up a little time as well. But you have to add your cut time, getting that log down to the size. And if it had been just a little bit bigger, we'd have been making quarters out of it.
Yeah.
Because it was just about too big to put a half on the mill. We'd have had to go down to a quarter. So bear that in mind. Tell your customers that, yeah, you'll do it. In our case, we don't mind doing it. It's a challenge, but I have to charge for it. And they have to know up front that I'm going to charge for it. But that yielded good. But at the end of the day, yes, two 30-inch logs would have been better. Matter of fact, we got 5 more out there, and this was the biggest one, but the rest of them were smaller, but they're a little shorter. Some of them actually 7 foot short, right?
But it's all the same tree.
It's all the same tree. You come out of the same tree. The guy that brought it to me is one that climbed it, and they craned it out while he was in the tree. It was a monster. So the worst part of this, as far as time, was my flitches were just too wide for Matthew to do edging. We did recover a lot in the flitches. We sacrificed a lot for stickers. Matthew will show you our sticker pile. Could we have gotten a few more boards? Yes, we could have. I could have cut the flitches down to where they went through the edger, and we could have edged them twice and got 2 6s or 6 and a 4. But we need stickers. It's cost of doing business. We always got to have stickers. And these big white pine, forest pine logs make good stickers because they don't bleed into other species, especially when dried. So we always got to have stickers, and that's just a fact of life. This lumber is destined, we're going to strap it, get it out of here, and it's going to go through the kiln, and you'll probably see it again because we're going to make 4-inch and 6-inch tongue and groove V-groove to go back in this guy's father's house. His father's wanted it, but I'm not dealing with him. I'm dealing with the tree man. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I say, we use the Mizer Turbo 7 saw blade, the 55 thousandths. They're excellent for dealing with this pine because I can keep up a fast pace and not worry about it wandering over these hard knots. You need anything from Mizer, give Joe Maine a call. He is their dedicated blade expert, but he can help you out with mills, edgers, sharpener setters, kilns, whatever. If he don't know the answer, he's in the group and he can get you somebody that get the answer. Big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Don't forget to check out Solomon's channel, Third Beard Fishing. What was that he caught the other night? Was it a Kobe? Big old, I think it was a Kobe down there fishing for bass and come out with a monstrous Kobe. But we hope to be down there doing some of that ourselves soon. Anything else today? Mordecai update, he's doing good. He's up, what, 12, 13 pounds now?
Growing like a weed.
Growing like a weed. His non-os just tickled death. He's got fat rings around his wrist. Well, can't say much. I'm getting them too, but he's a little fat butterball. So that's going to do it for today, guys. As always, we appreciate you watching. If you would, like, subscribe, and share. Drop your comments below, and we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.